Welcome to a Rex Matriarch guide. I thought some people might be interested in them as Osseous is coming out next week. Let's start off with Orikalka. Orikalka has 4 different attacks: the auto attack, the magic auto attack, frost storm, and pyroclastic shock. The auto attack is just a simple bite animation. The mage auto attack is basically like a roar type of animation where Orikalka opens her mouth. The frost storm is a spin animation followed by a massive white looking tornado, and then the pyroclastic shock is half a spin with a tail slam into the ground. Frost Storm will deal a very big mage hit that hits for 4,000 plus damage. It applies the Frostbite debuff to all players who are within 15 tiles of her. The debuff increases players' global cooldown on abilities for 30 seconds and drains their run energy to 0%. Pyroclastic Shock is a special attack where she swipes her tail and creates 3 cracks on the floor. When you're stood on the cracks, they deal rapid melee damage for 3k plus hits. So it's important to pray melee and use devotion here. You're going to want to stand on the crack for a second to remove the frostbite debuff that you got from the frost storm. There is a strategy you can use that makes Orikalka the easiest boss in the game, and all you need is the runes to cast the entangle spell for the entire duration of the fight. This will allow you to stun Orikalka for 24 seconds at a time and get all your damage out. When the stun runs out, you just need to wait a few seconds before you can stun again. All you need to do is move along the west wall, as you can see I'm doing here, so that other Rexes don't aggro onto you. Assuming everything went according to plan, you've just killed your first Orikalka. Congratulations! Let's talk about Pthentraken next. Pthentraken also has 4 different attacks: auto attack, a ranged auto attack, converging lightning, and storm column. The auto attack is just a basic mage attack that happens through the duration of the fight. The ranged auto attack actually hits very hard and can hit up to 3.5k damage if not protected against. This is the second auto attack that happens after the converging lightning is spawned. Converging lightning is a special attack in which she roars and summons 3 to 5 lightning bolts. Brown lines appear on the floor indicating the path that the lightning will take. It will go towards Pthentraken. One of the lightning bolts will always spawn in the path of where her target was positioned at the start of the mechanic, while the remaining lightning is placed at random. Getting caught in the path of the lightning will deal 5 to 5,500 magic damage every 2 game ticks or 1.2 seconds, so it is important to move away from them. Alternatively, this damage can be drastically reduced by wearing insulated boots. Storm column is indicated by a bar appearing over the player's head, which causes the player's movement to be delayed for around 2 seconds. When the bar fills, it will unleash a torrent of lightning in a 3x3 radius around your initial position. Getting hit by this will apply the overcharge buff. If you want the buff, allow the lightning to hit you as it spawns and then move out of the area of effect. It's important to move after it appears as its damage increases over time, capping at around 3.6k typeless damage every 2 game ticks, which can easily kill you. And finally, we have Rathis. Rathis has 5 different attacks: a ranged auto attack, the melee auto attack, the poison bomb, poison absorption, and charge. The ranged auto attack, Rathis will just lean forwards with her tail coming over, and she'll hit you with a ranged projectile. This is the most commonly used attack during the fight. The melee auto attack, Rathis will swipe her face across the floor aggressively and bite you. Acid bombardment is where she launches 2 poison orbs in the air, one at her target's position when the mechanic starts, and the other is random. This is a 5x5 AoE ranged attack, and getting hit by the splatter will always inflict up to 3.5k range damage. While standing on the poison pores, the player will take rapid soft poison damage of around 300 to 500 every few ticks. If the player is under the effects of anti-poison, the damage is significantly reduced, dealing around 50 to 100 damage. The pores become smaller as the player absorbs the poison, which is important to do to reduce the healing mechanic. Poison absorption is a healer mechanic where Rathis will attempt to absorb any remaining poison pores. The amount of poison pores remaining determines how much health Rathis will recover, ranging from 1,666 at the minimum to 35,000 for an untouched poison pool. If the target is not within melee range, The melee attack is instead replaced with a charge, where Rathis roars and charges towards her target's position, dealing up to 4.5k type plus damage to everyone in her path, stunning and binding them for 3.6 seconds. It's best to stay in melee range of Rathis for the entire fight to make sure this mechanic doesn't happen, plus you are meleeing Rathis, so it doesn't make sense for you to not be in melee range of her. Fighting the 3 Rex Matriarchs is pretty easy if you have best in slot or close to best in slot gear. You can just do your basic rotation, and by the end of it you'll be close to killing the Rex Matriarch. When you don't have best in slot gear, rotations in my opinion are a bit more complicated. However, even though you may not be able to use the best common rotation, you absolutely still are able to kill all 3 of the Rex Matriarchs with lower leveled gear than best in slot. I want to show you kills of the Rex Matriarchs with best in slot gear and lower leveled gear. So I'm going to show all of them now. They're going to be time stamped for you to see, so you can skip to which one that you may need. This is the Orikalka best in slot kill. The gear we're using here is of course Elite Tectonic, Cinderbane gloves, Blaster Fusion boots, the Zook cape, an EOF with an ABS spec, the Channeler's ring, Grimoire activated, the Imperium core, the Wand of Praisal, and then for the inventory we are rocking an Overload with super restores, some Sorrow Brews, a Adrenaline renewal potion, a Weapon poison potion, of course Vuln bombs, our blue blubbers, then our LOTD with our FSOE switch, and then there's like the Vit pot in there and the prayer renewal. They're just part of the preset, as well as our 2 rune pouches and our Zamoragle's Nexus. This is the lower leveled gear for Orikalka. We are using the Subjugation armor with Blaster Fusion boots, regular Karapak wrist wraps. We're using a Skilling cape, the Blood Amulet of Fury, a Ring of Death, the Manacle Aura, a Staff of Light, the activated Scripture of Jazz with the regular Nexus. Our inventory is using Extreme Magic Potion, Extreme Defense, 4-dose Super Restores, 4-dose Gothic Brews, Catfish, the Ring of Fortune, Nature Runes to be able to use Entangled, and then our pouch with Fire and Air runes in it. This is our best in slot kill for Pthentraken. We're using regular Dracolich armor with Cinderbanes and insulated boots, the Zuck Cape, a Darkbow EOF with Reaver's Ring, activated Grimoire, and the SGB. I have 2 quivers. You should use Death Spores at the beginning to get your stacks, and then switch to Bic Arrows afterwards. Then we have our Overload Potion with some restores, Bruise, an Adrenaline Renewal Potion, Vuln Bombs, LOTD for the switch, Blubbers, Ozamarogo Nexus, and then there's a few other items in there just because of a preset which are completely pointless. This is our lower leveled gear kill for Pthentraken. We're using Serenic armor with Cinderbanes and insulated boots. We're rocking the activated Jazz Book, a Dissemination, Bic Arrows, a Ring of Death, the Blood Amulet of Fury with a Skill Cape and Reckless Aura. Then we have our Extreme Range Potion, Extreme Defense Potion, Super Restores, a Weapon Poison Plus Potion, Guthix Rests, Catfish, our Regular Nexus, and the Ring of Fortune. This is the close to best in slot Rathis Kill. We're using the tier 85 Lengs with Vestments of Havoc armor, Enhanced Gloves of Passage, the Zuck Cape, a D-Claws EOF with Champion's Ring, activated Grimoire, and Zamarago Nexus. We have our Overloads, our Restore Potions, our Adrenaline Renewal, Vuln Bombs, Anti-Poison ++, Bruise, Blubbers, a ZGS switch, Jewels of the Abyss switch, and Rune Pouches for Smoke Cloud. This is our lower leveled Rathis Kill. We're using Masterwork armor. We're using full Masterwork armor, the tier 85 Lengs, the Jazz Book activated, the Ring of Death, the Blood Amulet of Fury, a Skill Cape, and the regular Nexus, along with Berserker aura. And then we have our Extreme Attack, Extreme Strength Potion, with an Extreme Defense, Super Restores, Guthix Rests, Anti-Poison, Catfish, and our Ring of Fortune. hope that you found this video helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you look forward to the brand new Rex Matriarch coming out on Monday.